Just a few days ago, Elon Musk tweeted about gold, and it looks like there might be an upcoming audit of the gold at Fort Knox. I've got all of the tweets. I'm going to get you up to speed on this. And then I want to look at this confidential letter from the Reserve Bank of Australia exposing the fact that some of the gold bars held at the Bank of England were proven to be fake. Are there fake gold bars here in America as well? Let's get into it. Buy your gold and silver online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold or silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. Here is the post on X, or the tweet that kind of kickstarted all of this drama. So it was put out by Zerohedge. They are sort of a libertarian financial blog, if you will. They've been talking about gold and silver for a long time, but this came out at around noon on Saturday, February 15th, and they just say it would be great if Elon Musk could take a look inside Fort Knox just to make sure the 4,580 tons of U.S. gold is there. Last time anyone looked was 50 years ago in 1974. And you can see here 3.2 million views, so already going viral. Then Elon replied. Now I think he's just kind of poking the bear a little bit with this response. It only took him about an hour to respond, and he said, surely it's reviewed at least every year. And I think he's kind of alluding to the fact that we all know it hasn't been reviewed. It hasn't been audited in a very, very long time. But this begs the question, will he now audit the gold at Fort Knox? And if he does, what will he find? Next, we have the CEO of the Scottsdale Mint, Josh Phair, talking about these tweets. You can see here over 500,000 views. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hey, so breaking news. Elon Musk, just this afternoon, tweeted out, posted out on X, surely the gold in Fort Knox is audited every year. I would reckon to think Elon already knows the answer. Gold has not been audited. The U.S. gold has not been audited since 1974. That's right, 50 years. Insane amount of gold has been flown from all over the world, but in predominantly out of London. And they are draining the supply of gold all throughout the world. And now there's shortages, delays, everything. So a couple questions. Is it that the U.S. didn't have enough gold here in time for the audit? And that's quite possible, definitely quite possible. Some of the U.S.'s gold could have easily been stored over in the Bank of England. Could they be getting ahead? So perhaps they're topping up to where they need to be, and perhaps they're getting ahead. Again, we've been talking about that, challenging what's happening with the BRICS countries, in particular China, who's been just gold piling for the last few years. So is this the U.S. kind of resurging again? We've been talking about on our X channel that there's no doubt that central banks are deleveraging as we speak, which means they have a combination of their fiat currency, debt, and then how much gold is on their balance sheets. The debt has expanded so much, nothing really makes sense. And now they're starting to grow their gold up again.
After Josh put out that video, a lot of people started commenting, what if the gold is not there? What if there's no gold in Fort Knox? And before he could put out another response video, we had this tweet from Rand Paul. So he's replying to Elon Musk, Elon saying, surely it's reviewed at least every year. Rand Paul says, nope, let's do it. So many of you know Rand Paul has been trying to audit Fort Knox for a very long time. Will he now be teaming up with Elon to actually get this audit going? Later that day, we see different news outlets start to pick up the story. We have the headline from this article here. Elon Musk encouraged to crack open Fort Knox and audit the 425 billion gold reserves inside, and Rand Paul wants to help. And here's another article. Doge prepares gold reserve audit after top Republican invites Elon Musk to review Fort Knox. So mainstream media is picking this up. Then we get another response from Josh Phair. Check this one out.
A lot of people say the gold's not there. And what happens when the audit shows that there is no gold there? And while that's quite the possibility, I don't think Trump likes to fail at pretty much anything, and either does Elon. And I'm going with firsthand experience here, firsthand knowledge. They have been flying gold into the United States out of Europe and mainly London. I know this for a fact. on almost every flight starting before Christmas. These flights, typically a passenger flight, they'll spread the gold out, roughly 4 tons of gold. I'll let you guys do the math, roughly 32,000 ounces per pallet. They'll spread that out across the cargo. If the plane is full, as most of it was leading up to Christmas because of holiday travel, they could only get 2 tons. So if almost every single flight is that much gold coming in, and I know this firsthand from all the armed carriers. Guys, I work with these companies. I know them. In fact, one of them is going to be leasing space for me in my new facility in Wyoming, and handling gold coming in from both Europe for clients coming in and out. So I know this firsthand. So this amount of gold has been coming here. A lot of us, including myself, started noticing the exchange for physical premium that the banks were allowing, given a premium to bring the gold to the United States. Most of us thought it was only EFP, was only for tariff reasons. While that is 100% correct, we broke it on this X. If you've been following us, the beginning of February, it's saying that, hey, this is repatriation, which means they are bringing gold here for someone. Is that someone the U.S. government? I'm just trying to connect the dots. I don't know for sure. It wouldn't surprise me when Trump was talking about a golden era, remonetizing the balance sheets. You also have to think the new Treasury Secretary, he likes gold. So when they say, hey, we're going to make sure Fort Knox has the gold and then the other vaults have the gold, I think this is just a heads up that this is what's coming. Obviously, the U.S. has other vaults as well. So we mentioned that it's been 50 years from the last audit. Yes, it was a partial audit. It wasn't a full extensive audit. You got to go back to another 20 years prior to that. I think it was early 50s, 53 perhaps, that we've had a full audit. So it's time to do a full audit. I don't think that they're going to fail. They are here to win. So if I'm a betting man, I'm going to guess that they've been short the gold. Was the gold perhaps encumbered? There's a lot of discussion about that gold being encumbered, whether it was through the Vatican, London. I don't know. There's so many different concepts and theories out there. While I don't know, what I do know is that the amount of gold coming to the U.S. is record. A lot of that gold is showing up in the COMEX, so you clearly know that I'm not just making this up out of thin air.
And here's the chart to kind of show what's going on. So we have this dashed blue line showing the New York COMEX approved stockpiles in tons. So this is, the gold on the COMEX in New York, and it's just falling over the last few years, getting lower and lower and lower. And then we get to almost, 500 tons back at probably fall of 2024, and then it just goes up almost a straight line, nearly doubling in just the last few months. So lots of gold flowing into New York, lots of gold coming to the United States of America. Where is it coming from? Well, a lot of it is coming from London. You could see on this chart here the outflows, so the change in tons. This is from the London vaults, right? London gold. And you could see we got the, biggest dip here, the most negative they've seen in like a decade. So lots of gold flowing out of London, coming to New York. But my question is this gold even real? So again, this is from the Reserve Bank of Australia, this strictly confidential letter. It came out July 19, 2021. So it's talking about the serial numbers of gold bars held at the Bank of England. And a lot of the gold from London is coming from the Bank of England. And basically just the part we want to focus on here, the existence of fake gold bars has been detected in the past by the presence of duplicate refiners' serial numbers. So we know that in the past, some of the gold coming out of the Bank of England has been not real, not legitimate. Maybe these were tungsten-filled, gold-plated bars. I don't exactly know what they were. But either way, this begs the question, maybe they are bringing in gold from England, but maybe the gold they're bringing in is not even real. So is there gold in Fort Knox? Is there not gold in Fort Knox? We don't know at this point. Is the gold there fake as well? I mean, hey, we have a central bank in England holding fake gold. So who knows? I mean, honestly, no one knows at this point. I do want to look at one more tweet, this one by Sovereign X, and it didn't get as much attention as the other tweets, but I think it kind of sums up this whole issue really nicely. So the start right here. What if Fort Knox is empty? The U.S. gold crisis could shatter markets. For decades, the U.S. government has claimed to hold 147.3 million troy ounces of gold in Fort Knox. The official book value of this gold, $42.22 per ounce, totaling 6.22 billion, a number that hasn't been updated since the 1970s. But at today's real market price, and they're saying, just under $2,900 per ounce, that gold should be worth over 400 billion. So, what if it isn't there? An actual audit of Fort Knox hasn't happened since 1974. If an audit were conducted today and found that the gold is missing, it wouldn't just be a scandal, it would trigger one of the biggest financial crises in modern history. They go on to say gold prices would skyrocket. If Fort Knox is empty, it would mean there's far less gold backing the global financial system than previously thought. That would shatter confidence, causing central banks, investors, and sovereign funds to panic buy physical gold. Less supply plus skyrocketing demand equals gold prices exploding past 5,000 per ounce, maybe even 10,000. Also, the US dollar could collapse in confidence. The US left the gold standard in 1971, but the illusion that America still holds massive gold reserves helps maintain trust in the dollar. If Fort Knox is empty, that illusion is gone. Countries like China and Russia, which are already hoarding gold, would accelerate their shift away from the dollar, pushing the world towards de-dollarization. Also, exposure of market manipulation. For years, many have suspected that governments manipulate gold prices by leasing or selling reserves to suppress true market value. A missing Fort Knox reserve would confirm those suspicions, forcing the market to reprice gold to its actual worth. And lastly, global financial instability. A Fort Knox scandal wouldn't just hurt the U.S., it would send shockwaves through global markets. Foreign governments, already skeptical of U.S. leadership, would dump treasuries, abandon the petrodollar, and demand physical asset-backed reserves. The trust in Western financial institutions could be permanently damaged. So why hasn't Fort Knox been audited in nearly 50 years? What are they hiding? A real audit could be the biggest red pill moment in modern finance. And if the gold isn't there, the financial world as we know it could change overnight. So what do you think? Is the gold in Fort Knox? Is the gold not in Fort Knox? What about the gold that's coming into the United States of America? Is it all real? Is it not real? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I made a video talking about the gold in Fort Knox a while back, and it's a little bit satire at the end of the video, but go ahead and watch it. It gives a lot of information on the gold in Fort Knox and my thoughts on whether the gold is there or not. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.